Hello friends! Welcome back to the Old School Essentials campaign set at the Keep on the Borderlands. Today we have the return of a prodigal son, as well as a guest player, just in time for a dangerous excursion to the Caves of Chaos. But then, aren't all excursions to the caves dangerous? So, let's roll the opener and let's have at it!
As usual, the action is recreated using the Order of the Stick Monster for Every Season cutout minis. Today's players: Nathaniel as Colin Bush, Lawful Cleric of Elona, Level 3. Neil as Onion Buns Bumblestump, Neutral Halfling, Level 2. Vahid, playing Rigo, Neutral Thief. Marcel returns from his hiatus to play Waloo, Lawful Magic User. And guest player Joe, playing Deshawn, Lawful Cleric of Foltus. Together at the local meeting hall, the group sits together discussing current events at the Keep. Rigo, Onion Buns, and Colin Bush have made the acquaintance of newcomers to the Keep, Waloo, a stunted human magic user who seems overly eager to please, and Deshawn, an acolyte of the Church of Foltus. The group has heard a rumor that the entire goblin tribe at the Caves of Chaos has been completely annihilated, which seems very strange. They decide it might be worth investigating, as if it's true, then confirming the intel will be of value to the Castellan and the Keep forces. They recruit 3 retainers for the expedition, attracting the attention of Grassic, Martin, and Heka, a trio of mercenaries who have recently arrived at the Keep. During negotiations, a minor math miscalculation sees Colin Bush accidentally offering the mercs more than they were originally asking for, which they immediately agree to before the group realizes the error. Arming up, the team heads out of the Keep and along the road to the caves. To the south, on the horizon, the team sees the form of a wyvern circling something before eventually flying off. Sneaking into the Goblin Cave, they find that the stench is oppressive, but the rumors look to be true. A massive battle has taken place and many goblins lay dead, each one beheaded. The state of decay indicates that this happened some weeks ago at least. Creeping deeper into the Goblin Cave, the group comes upon a heavy door set into the stone walls of the cave. There's no conventional lock to pick, and attempts to bash it repeatedly fail until the diminutive Waloo announces that he wants to try, and braces his hands on the floor to heave it with a mule kick. This does the job as the door splinters open, revealing half a dozen hobgoblins on the other side with daggers ready to throw, the noise having given them ample time to prepare. Caught by surprise, the team is bombarded by the daggers, the unarmored Waloo being front and center fears for his life, but all attacks in his direction luckily miss. 2 retainers take blows, but none are killed. The team moves in to engage the hobgoblins. Rigo is felled by a heavy blow, and no fewer than 4 hobgoblins gang up on the brave cleric of Foltus, Deshawn. After calling upon his god for aid, Deshawn proves indomitable as one by one each of the hobgoblin misses their attacks. The 6th hobgoblin withdraws from the chamber and raises an alert. Waloo retreats in fear, while Colin Bush attempts to blind one with a spell of light. The saving throw is made. Oh, the ball of light still serves to illuminate the room for the human combatants. In a subsequent round of combat, the retainer Martin is killed, but a crack shot from Bumblestump and a heavy blow from Deshawn finishes a hobgoblin. Combat continues. The DM rolls hobgoblin morale, which holds, and they continue the defense of their lair. Waloo casts a light spell on a hobgoblin's face, blinding it, while another hobgoblin goes down. The remaining retainers take blows, prompting morale for them, but their roll fails and they flee. With the hobgoblin numbers reduced to 3, another morale roll is prompted, which, unknown to the players, fails. The team is planning its own retreat. With both groups fleeing, the combat ends. The team regroups outside, where they spot a figure watching them, an elf who is scouting the area, and thus our traditional contrived character entrance sees the introduction of Vahid's new character, Argus, a neutral elf. As the group plots their next action, deciding whether or not to return to the cave, the sound of war drums is heard and they decide to depart. Argus remains and observes from a safe space to gather intel, seeing the humanoid tribes respond to the drums. Kobolds, orcs, hobgoblins, and a minotaur all emerge from their respective caves. He ducks low and leaves with this information. Back at the keep, they deliberate on a new course of action. Rumors of lizard men in the bog are of interest to Deshawn, but there are also rumors of some dark terror in the grove. Bodies have been found desiccated. Loyalty rolls hold for the retainers Grassic and Hecka, so they agree to stick with the team. Colin meets with Phineas, the elven steward of the Castellan, who reminds him that the Warrens are still unmapped, but Colin fears his new companions aren't up for the task. Phineas suggests scouting the area around the keep to locate the as-yet unfound exit from the Warrens. This is agreed to, and the team plans to rest up and head out the next day. Spells are recovered, and Waloo swaps out Light for Floating Disc, though he doesn't inform the rest of the team of this, only the DM. The team spends a full day searching the area, zigzagging into the forest. Argus finds tracks of a huge, long creature. They follow the tracks and come across a giant weasel, which is the result of a random encounter roll, but they manage to surprise it. They bombard it with both magic and arrows, blinding it with light and killing it as it attempts to flee blindly. After a brief discussion about how they are going to transport the carcass to the tradesman, Waloo announces that he has memorized his floating disc spell, much to everyone's surprise and delight, and they use it to carry the entire carcass back to the keep, where Reese the tradesman offers them a sum of 3,000 Karamakos royals for it. Argus and Waloo decide that this was a score worthy of rest. Vahid bows out of the session, while Marcel swaps in a new character, a neutral thief known only as the Hood. The team, realizing how much of their loot is going to these retainers, demands that the retainers take a lesser share, to which the response is, it's the current deal or they walk. Colin won't budge, so the retainers walk. Their loot is enough to level them, so Grassic and Hecka become first-level warriors on the keep roster. Unable to locate new retainers, the group decides to travel to the nearby town of Kleina to see if any can be located there. The trip is uneventful, but Colin is reminded that Clifton Caldwell's castle is at the midpoint. They decide not to visit quite yet, but they do keep him in mind. The search for mercenaries in Kleina proves to be fruitless. Even the Church of Alona yields no eager acolytes willing to lend aid. As they head back to the keep, they decide to visit Caldwell after all. An extremely snooty porter almost turns these ruffians away, but relents when they state they know Caldwell and insist on an audience. Caldwell, however, is most happy to see them and offers them a new task: clearing out the basement. It seems that one of the doors the group was previously unable to open was in fact wizard-locked. In the room was a magically enchanted trapdoor. When they opened it and looked down, they saw a basement dungeon and a moving translucent cube sliding down a corridor. Caldwell instructed his men to immediately shut and secure the trapdoor until he could hire Muscle to explore. He offers the team terms to clean out the basement of his keep of any dangerous critters that may inhabit the lower levels. After hearing the offer, they pledge to return in the near future with more men. After their audience with Caldwell, they return to the keep on the Borderlands, and the session concludes there.
Let's unpack everything that happened today, friends.
First, they confirmed that something has indeed happened to the goblins at the Caves of Chaos.
I wonder what could have possibly happened to the goblins.
While their assault against the hobgoblin guards went south, the subsequent events were enlightening. The tribes of the caves all responded to the war drums of the hobgoblins, and Argus got a good look at some of the denizens, including the Minotaur. There will certainly be some excitement when some intrepid adventuring group encounters that beast. Behind the scenes, today's guest player, Joe, was trying Old School Essentials for the first time, him normally being a 5th edition player. He had such a good time, he immediately ordered the OSE books to set up a table game of his own.
Truly a testament to such a fine system.
Marcel has returned to the table with new characters. Followers of our review caps will remember his chaotic portrayal of the elf Legolas, so it should be fun to see what shenanigans he comes up with now. More situations have been set up. The next part of the Castle Caldwell adventure has been laid before their feet, so we'll see what happens when they finally decide to tackle that one. The adventures continue, and the module is slowly coming to its conclusion. Characters are leveling, and soon I foresee a push to deal with the Caves of Chaos once and for all.
Many more review caps for the Old School Essentials campaign loom, my friends, so stay tuned, and I shall see you anon.